So this video is going to be great for if you've just gotten surgery perhaps or had a baby, you're just starting a fitness routine and your muscles are a bit on the challenged side. We're going to do a really easy bed mobility and strengthening. So I have with me light weights, about 2 pounds. So you're going to start in a comfortable position on the bed with your knees bent and your arms at your side. Puppies are optional, but always welcome. We're going to start working some of the lower abdominal muscles just really easily and gently. Take your hands to the bones of your pelvis, and you've got these 2 hip bones. You want to put your hands on the front hip bones, and then just play around a little bit with how those hip bones can wiggle forward and backward, and then let the hip bones settle in a neutral position. Now you're going to engage your abdominal muscles just a titch. It's kind of a firming of your belly without tipping your hip bones. So I'd like you to keep your belly firm, and then take your right knee and just open it up to the side. You're going to try to keep your hip bones, your pelvis bones steady while you do that. And then go ahead and go to the other side. Now, if you want to coordinate your breath here, it would be really helpful to exhale as the knee is dropping and inhale as the knee comes back up. Just a very light core engagement. Try not to let your pelvis rock with your leg. You're going to separate the movement of your leg from your pelvis. Good. So about 10 of those on each side. Take a couple wiggles. Let your low back roll around a little bit. Let your knees rock side to side. And now you're going to lift your foot 1 inch and lower it. And again, we're going to keep the pelvis level and the lower abdominals drawn in. You might notice that it feels a little bit harder on one side than the other. That's normal. And again, we're going to blow out as you lift your foot, and inhale as you put it back down. Now, if raising the foot feels a little bit hard and challenging at the moment, then instead of lifting the foot, just slide your leg out and slide it back. So this would be your inhale as your leg goes out, and exhale as your leg goes back. So find the activity that suits what your body is capable of right now. About 10 of those on each leg. And from there, we're going to give our bottom core muscles and our legs a little break. We're going to work up into the rib cage and the chest and arm muscles. And what we're going to do here is maybe grab your weights. We're going to work on upper trunk stabilization. And so put your hands on your ribs and notice that your ribs can kind of tilt up to the ceiling or push down into the bed, and wiggle around with your ribs a bit. And then we're going to keep the ribs just slightly tucked towards the bed. And then either with weights or with arms, no weights. I'm going to take one arm and bring it towards the head of the bed and then back towards center. And what we're going to notice is the ribs might have the tendency to lift up and go along with the arm. And we're going to actively engage the abdominal muscles so that the ribs stay knitted together and down while the arm moves. So we can alternate arms here while the ribs stay engaged. Now the exhale is when the arm moves behind your head. Inhale comes back. Now, if one arm feels way too easy, you can do both arms together, which feels a little harder. Okay, so we did 3 exercises for our torso. Let's move into some exercises for our arms. We'll start with bicep curls. We'll take it really slow. Exhaling as the arms bend, inhaling as they come down. Now you're going to notice as your elbows hit 90 degrees, it feels kind of easy. But you can still go through the whole range of motion if you like. Exhale as your elbows bend, inhale as they extend. And then we're going to swivel the elbows to be about in the same line as the shoulder, and we'll work into a gentle chest press. You'll exhale this time as the arms come up toward the ceiling, and then inhale, elbows even with the shoulders. We'll try 10 of those. And then lastly, for the arms, we're going to move into triceps. So you're going to face your thumbs towards the head of the bed, gripping onto the weights, or no weights again. And then this time, slowly lower your thumbs toward your forehead, and then slowly straighten your elbows back up. You want to try to keep your elbows right above your shoulders and your arms parallel. Now the exhale is as the arms are lowering, and the inhale brings the arms back up. You might also take advantage of knitting the ribs together and being aware of the rib cage stability while you're doing this exercise as well, so that the ribs aren't lifting up towards the ceiling. Keep the ribs in towards the bed. Nice work. Okay, great. And now we're gonna put the weights aside for a bit and start to work on our legs. So a couple different things we can do with our leg muscles. I like to do some inner and outer thigh with just snow angel legs. Now, if your pants are a little bit like create a little drag on the sheets. It's kind of nice. You get a little bit of resistance. And it's hard to see what I'm doing here, but I'm just separating my legs and pulling them back together. Now my toes are pointing straight up to the ceiling. And I'm just going to go as far as my body feels comfortable here. Opening on the inhale and then exhale as I close. Inhale, open. It's going to work my side hips. It's really good, important stabilizing muscle. And then also the inner thighs. Surprisingly challenging, especially with the resistance from clothing. And again, we'll do about 10 of those. More if you'd like. Okay, one more exercise for the hips and thighs, and we're going to work ourselves into a bridge. There's lots of different levels that we can do bridge. So in bridge, we're going to lift the buttocks and then put them back down. So you can decide where you want to be with this exercise. You can pinch the butt cheeks and just lift the pelvis. That feels like my quads are working and my butt cheeks are working. Or you can bring it up a little bit higher, make sure that's safe for your neck, and then lower down. So find where your muscles are challenged but nothing is hurting, and we'll do 10 of those. Exhale on the way up, inhale on the way down. If you're getting a little bit tired and you want to make the bridge a little bit smaller, you can do that. Okay, that was really lovely, and you might enjoy a couple little stretches before finishing this routine. So you can bring one knee into the chest, maybe circle the ankle. If your knees bother you, you can hold underneath your knee. Knee to opposite shoulder often feels really nice. Holding onto the back of the thigh and stretching the hamstring. Again, circling the ankle if that feels nice for you. Knee to chest. Knee to opposite shoulder. Taking some good deep breaths. Hamstring stretch. Pointing and flexing the foot. Wiggling the toes. Taking arms overhead. Breathing in and out, big breaths. And then bending the knees one more time and dropping them to one side. This feels like a very nice lower back stretch. You can stretch the arms out to the side. Take a few breaths right into your rib cage, into the lower back. Then go ahead to the other side. Maybe rolling the wrists, opening and closing the hands. And there's a nice little routine that you can try. If that felt easy and you want to do it over again, go for it. And if that felt hard and you need something else, let me know and I'll shoot you the next video in this series. Thanks a lot.